Miss Beauty just came through the window, so she's very eager to have her breakfast. It's funny how they're able to stay in that pen all night long, but then as soon as I walk in this door, they're trying to jump through. Miss Cecily, why is your baby so crazy? So this pen here of the separated snack crew has been a little wild. So I have had this webcam set up to stream kind of like if we're out of town, if I have goats that are due soon. So I can check on them, and I guess the webcam cord was hanging down a little bit too low because they chewed it completely in half. So they turned into like big rats. So thank you for that. I don't know which one of you did it. I'm gonna guess Cecily, since the rest of you are all very short. So when I put them away last night, I did leave Midnight and Moon with this group. They all went to the outside gate, and Midnight and Moon now are so used to getting out that they just went out there with them. But then this morning when I came out, Miss Cheerio was also with them. So again, she's taking advantage of the fact that we did take down the netting. She's been sailing through the gates, just adding herself to the snack crew whenever she feels like. Cheerio, you are so naughty. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 goats out here. Hello. This turkey was in one of the little swimming pools that I set up for the goats, like scratched all the way down to the bare plastic. It was like making a nesting area or something. So I'm not really sure if this is a female turkey. But I found a weird speckled egg back in the buckling barn. So one of them is laying eggs. So I don't know if it's marshmallow or fudge. So I do give all of my does a full bucket of feed in the morning. Excuse me. Move your head. It's kind of cold this morning. It's like 24 degrees. Guys, I can't. But it doesn't seem really windy, so you know the feels like temperature that your phone shows you, it's also 24 degrees. So I am grateful that it doesn't feel colder. They all run to the bucket because I added the beet pulp shreds on top. I'll give you a pile of beet pulp shreds. Here you go. They love these. Anybody want to eat over here? Blue? They immediately go to the beet pulp. You guys are so predictable. This is calf manna. It's their black licorice smelling food. Here, move your head. They're still eating around it, eating the beet pulp shreds. Usually try to separate it so they have pellets, calf manna, and beef pulp. Whoa, what are you guys fighting about? This isn't even for you. This is for the does. There. You can eat that. Getting all together. Too many goats out here being separated and eating separately. It's kind of dark in here. Do you want to turn on the lights? Good morning. Last night I did close up those back barn doors. It was kind of chilly last night. Everybody looks good, looks alert this morning. Heated buckets are working. They did not freeze. Your feed pan's clean. They actually are pretty clean. Good job, guys. Get me out of this one. So I am going tomorrow to pick up an ultrasound machine. I'm really, really excited. A friend is selling her supplies due, again, to some really unfortunate health issues. So brokenhearted for her over that. But I'm buying her ultrasound machine. I'm also buying the cream separator. Some of the Premier One heat lamps. And there's something else. Oh, and an extra disc budding iron. So I started my own disc buddings last year. It's been so convenient. I love my vet, and he's amazing with goats. But the only time that he could do disc buddings was like on a Thursday at 12 o'clock. And it's just really hard to be there all the time at that with work and with everything else. And a lot of times it was kind of a long wait. So it would end up being there like an hour and a half or 2 hours, even for a few kids. So with me being able to do them myself, it's literally lasts like 10 seconds. And then they're right back with the back in their familiar place with their familiar goats. So it's much less stressful on them as well. Cookie, why are you laying down? Marshmallow, no. Sure, you guys are all busy getting ready for Christmas, the last Saturday before Christmas. I still have so much wrapping to do. Revy hates to eat with other goats. She never eats with other goats. She does not share her food. Come on, ma'am. You can come out. Eclipse, really? Pancake. Pancake loves to get out. That's like the highlight of her day. A lot of these goats look like they're getting ready to kid. We're going to be having a lot of kids in February. A lot of them are actually due on the same day. If you raise goats, you'll realize a lot of them go into heat like at the same time, like same days. But this year we've been trying to group kiddings so that way it's not like a long-term spread out over a big number of weeks. It's all just kind of together in like a day or two. Hey, Willow. Pancake really wanted out today. She really wanted out. That's why she's out. Willow wants to know why Pancake's out. Oh, and Cheerio escaped last night again. I think we're going to have to put the net back up. Pancake, yeah. My son, he honestly like has a gift for naming goats. Like he'll just look at them and then like a name pops up and it's always super cute. He named Pancake's little buckling last year Biscuit, and it was just the cutest name. Biscuit went to a pet home with another little wether. So I get updates on him once in a while, but he was our bottle baby. He got out for breakfast and lunch and dinner, and he was just the sweetest. I honestly love the name Biscuit, so hopefully we'll get another one. So on the ground, you see all of the hay that they've wasted. So we're planning a barn clean out again soon. And I'm just glad that we now have a tractor with manure forks, because shoveling this by hand is backbreaking. Guys, there's no food outside. I fed you in the barn today. This latch got like twisted. Barn has these latches. Normally this is on the other side, so I'm not sure what happened. Oh well, guess that's staying closed for now. Willow's headed to feed the bucklings. So we have it like a router out here in the barn. And it being a metal barn, it really doesn't work well outside this area. The other turkeys outside. Will you open the gate and let Fudge in? I think she wants in. I'm thinking that black turkey is the female that laid the egg. Look at all these goats running out there thinking Willow's gonna feed them again. Because she's holding coffee cans. They associate their coffee can with grain. They're gonna be very disappointed. They already ate here and then they immediately run out to eat again. Last night the turkeys were together in the chicken pen, so I don't know how they got separated. You guys have been getting your waters dirty. Look at Miss Easy. Last year she had triplets. The year before she also had triplets, so if I was gonna guess, I'd say she's gonna have triplets again. But usually when they get those weird bumps on either side, those are babies. Nigerian dwarfs, it's very, very common for them to have over 2. Having a single is actually really rare for them. Goats can have like up to 7 babies. I know a doe that had 7 babies and they all lived. They all grew and were able to be like full grown. So it's just wild to me as someone who's only had 4 goats at a time. Willow, you just shut the door in Little Bean's face. This is Vanilla Bean. Again, another name that my son picked. You see the gold does coming in, very upset that there was not also grain outside for them. So we are starting to get ready for kidding season. So this year I think I'll do CDT vaccines. A couple weeks out, we didn't do it last year. And I don't know. I feel like I wish I would have. My vet was kind of like, you know, it can be stressful on a pregnant doe to give a CDT vaccine. But having the kids have the immunity when they're born, you know, my does are not, they're not easily stressed, so I feel like they handle things well. Miss Nutmeg is the first, and she's not very big. Are you gonna have a single again, ma'am? She is 6 years old this spring. Well, so, she'll be 7, actually. I think her birthday is in May. Gosh, I can't believe she's gonna be 7. She's held up really well. We were not able to get an appraisal date last year. So for dairy goats, an appraisal is where they'll give your goat a score, and it's based on the perfect goat. That's different than judging. If you go to a show and you show your goat is being compared to the other goats around them. So if your goat's in a lineup, you're going to hear a comparison from the goat in front of it, and then you're also going to hear a comparison to the goat behind it. A linear appraisal is different in that your goat's just going to get a score that describes the conformation of the animal. So Nutmeg actually appraised with an excellent back and an excellent rump. So she's I think the only one in the herd that had an excellent in both of those. For this breed, Nigerian Dorse, you don't see a lot of excellent rumps. I've not seen that many at all, especially I think in my herd because it's newer. You are seeing an improvement in the breed as a whole. But if you look at the slope of this rump from hips to pins, you want something that's not too sloped. But more importantly for linear appraisals is the thurls are actually right here. It's kind of like around where the hip is. You want that to be flat across the top. Some goats, you'll see it looks like a teepee. She's fluffy right now, so it's not very accurate. But the flatness from thurl to thurl is more important when it comes to evaluating the rump, even more so than the slope from hips to pins. So Nutmeg has the excellent rump, and she actually passed it on to her daughters, so her mammary system only appraised fair, but it's because of the general appearance that I've kept her as a brood doe. This is one daughter, Hazel. She's got excellent general appearance. I really love this doe. Where's Sage? There's Sage. This is her other daughter, Cookie. Cookie has kind of a weird look to her. I feel like it's because of her nose. What are you doing? That's how they open the door. Goats are really smart. If there's any weakness in your fencing and your gates and your doors, they will find it. And then they watch the other goats do it, and so they'll learn. Tiny does that when she's stressed out. Are you stressed because you can't go into the feed room? Her name is Tiny Dancer. I didn't name her. I actually bought her, but we just call her Tiny. Here, ma'am, you can go out. Tiny usually gets out for extra feed because she's not a heavy doe. She kind of needs the extra feed. Nutmeg does not need the extra feed. Do you want to go back in? No. Go. She's gonna jump out if you hold her back. Does Easy one out? What? What are you doing? Doing some impressive jumps in here. Okay. So in preparation for kidding season, I bought these. I was at the Goodwill. Sometimes they'll have bags of just towels. And so I usually buy them because it's like, you can see it's $6 for this huge bag of towels. For kidding season, honestly, one of the first things that I use is a towel, just because kids are, again, they're having multiple kids. If you've seen a goat kid born, you know that they are just covered in like a thick mucus, which helps them be born easily, but it could be overwhelming for the dam to have to clean every kid as they come. So a lot of times, you know, we always try to know the breeding date. And so we'll be there so we can help the doe clean the kids. We'll make sure that we suction out the nose, that we suction all the goop out of the mouth, that they're able to get some of their first milk, which is colostrum. No, you don't need to eat that. So I pile up the towels. If I buy them this cheap and they're, you know, they're too bad, too messy, I can just pitch them. It really saves a lot of headache, especially when you've got multiple does kidding at one time. And when it's really, really cold and you don't feel like standing out there hosing off towels while they're over the fence. Do you want Grace out? Okay. So they're all going back out. Is she going back out? Okay, put her back out. Guys, go. They stand right in front of the gate and then they block it. Look at Nutmeg. Cheerio. You're so big. Yes. She was out all night. She jumped out. Oh. We've gotten almost everyone back in. Nutmeg right here, showing off that beautiful back. Alrighty. Revy is one of my favorite does. But she had a single buck kid last year. Nutmeg also had a single buck kid. Oh, Tiny. Tiny usually gets out to eat. She needs the extra grain. Here you go, ma'am. Nutmeg. Tiny and Nutmeg are kind of the OGs of this herd. Back in 2019, my daughter, they can start 4-H if they're in 3rd grade or 9 years old. So they have to be 9 on January 1st. So she was 9 that year, so we didn't have any goats. I'd gotten rid of all the goats that I had as a kid. I had the standard size goats, which are, you know, a lot bigger than these guys. They were Nubians and Oberhasleys. And so I really wanted her to show dairy goats at our local fair. So I found a breeder a couple hours north. I really wanted goats that had come from a tested clean herd. So herds usually test for CAE, CL, and Yonis. And so I bought these. I actually bought Nutmeg and a kid. The kid kind of was acting really weird to me. So I took her to the vet and they discovered a substantial heart murmur. And so the vet said, this kid probably won't live for an entire year. So I was kind of surprised because, you know, she had survived a disbudding, and then she just kept living. So she wasn't like a normal goat, and that I don't think she was ever able to be bred or anything. She kind of had a weird head. It looked like a really bucky head for a doe. So anyway, I did tell the breeder about the heart murmur, and she replaced that kid with Tiny. And so Tiny and Nutmeg were both yearlings when they came to our house to live. We had a much smaller barn and a much smaller lot. And so I didn't have a buck. I just had these 2 does. So my sister-in-law let me use her Nigerian buck. So we bred them. And they kidded in 2020. Nutmeg had 2 does. Tiny had 2 bucks. The bucks we sold since they were related to everybody. And the does, I still have one of those does from 2020, and that's Chia. I've gotten more kids from her. I sold her sister. And so later that year, we then had the 3 does, Nutmeg, Chia, Poppy. Well, we had 4 before I sold the other sister. So we bought a buck that year, and that was Isaac, and he has now been with us for 4 years. So I have my own group of Isaac kids. Cookie came from Isaac. Actually, Isaac's had a lot of buck kids, so I don't have a lot of doe kids. Lucky Charm came from Isaac. Hazel came from Isaac. And Minnie came from Isaac. I think that's all the Isaac does. Do I have another Isaac doe? Hazel Cookie, Minnie, and Lucky Charm. We now have a lot of Isaac grandkids.
Where's the Isaac?
Who? Easy. Yeah, we bred Easy to Isaac. Hopefully she doesn't have 3 bucks again like she did last year. They all kind of look like they're puffed out, a little bit hunched up because it's cold this morning. We have a lot of Isaac grandkids.
Yeah.
Should I give them hay? Yeah, it seems pretty dry. I feel like they can go out and eat today. So I think we'll cut back on some of the senior does this year and kind of focus more on some of the new kids that we're having. We were like pretty down with the number of doe kids that we were having compared to buck kids until Cecily had her big group of 3 doe kids. She had 4 altogether, but 3 were does, so she was kind of like trying to even out the count. So this is Time. She was born in January last year. We did go ahead and breed her. She's over 50 pounds. She's really long. She's really wide. Like if you look at the rump width between these 2 does, I mean, this is a 5-year-old doe, this is a yearling doe, and the rump width is pretty similar. So those are the main things I look at if I'm deciding whether or not to breed a yearling or a doe that's under a year. I did not breed Chocolate Chip last year because she was born in May. And she got over-conditioned. So she's bred now. Hopefully she milks it off. That's always what I tell myself. They're going to milk it off. And if they have multiples, a lot of times they will milk it off. Strings of twine everywhere. It's been really wet here, but now it's kind of starting to dry out, so I'm looking forward to that. The turkeys are in the chicken pen. I think they flew out. They can fly up pretty high. Like they get on top of the trampoline net and sit. So I guess they're both cleaning themselves. I wonder which one laid the egg.
I know. I think it's
So the turkeys are basically here for entertainment. Midnight's. I don't know why they keep coming in the goat pen. I think they just like being with goats. They like being with people as well. They tried to get into my van. They were like, when I was cleaning out the van, they were standing inside. Hey, don't peck her. Seriously? Gia. I had a bad dream about Gia last night.
lickers too. They got
Okay, so you always gotta love when your does start acting like a buck. The worst is when they're pregnant and they're getting near the end of their pregnancy and they're acting like a buck because, in my experience, that usually means they have a lot of buck kids. Sometimes there'll be like 2 buck kids and a doe kid in there. I don't even think Chia is pregnant, so I don't know why she's acting so bucky. Chia is one of our first kids born here. can see she inherited Nutmeg's back. She's got like a razor sharp back. It's really flat, really level. Really, you are bumping everything. I have to do this. This is Blackberry. All of Lucky Charms kids have this kind of annoying personality. You're not annoying, you're sweet. I would rather them be friendly. I don't like having to chase goats if I need to give them, you know, worm or vitamins or something. That really drives me crazy if I have to chase them down. Good morning, Blackberry. Are you guys gonna go out and eat today? I hope you don't stand around in the barn all day waiting for hay. Are you gonna give them hay? They're gonna expect hay because you're up there. Oh gosh. So you can see Chia is acting very bucky. That's her making that sound. That's typically a sound that only bucks make. And it's because that little doeling's in heat. Are you sure she doesn't have milk, Willow? Her attachments aren't great, so kind of looks like she has milk even when she's dry. That flagging tail is a sign that the dough is in heat. So it's really the worst when you see that in a dough that you thought was bred months ago. Then you see her out there flagging her tail, standing by the buck pen. Not a great feeling. Hi, Bumpkin. You need to get out of the feed pans. I don't like when you do that. Get down. You can stand on the ground. I really hate when they get in the feed pans. We really need to figure out like some kind of feeder we can make or buy where they can't actually get in the feeder. They can just put their head in and eat. Because this drives me absolutely crazy when they put their feet in the feeders. So I do periodically go around with like disinfecting wipes and wipe it, but you can only do so much. Off your nose. Why are you wagging your tail? These two sisters were born. Like, I wasn't expecting their mom to have them that day because she was just acting really normally. She was a first freshener, so it was her first time having kids. Usually they're a little more dramatic. And so, like, I went out that evening and it was already dark. She was out in the field and had both of these kids. They were born like super fast. So we named them Blackberry Pie and Pumpkin Pie. So I just call them the Pie Sisters. Hi, Cecily. Cecily has the worst breath of a goat that I've ever smelled. You need like a breath mint. Hi, sweet baby. This is Libby. Her ears look so big right now. She got really dark. Her sister got lighter and she got darker.
You got really brown.
Yeah. On one of the local groups, I saw a relative of Miss Sassley, that brown doe right there, for sale. I was like really tempted to get her. I actually own Sassley's half brother as well. Did Did they go out, or are they just inspecting the feed pans out there?
They took me out there on the wood pile, but that's it. Soaking in the sun.
Is the ground frozen, or is it still muddy?
It's frozen. It's muddy, just in a few spots.
I didn't end up getting minerals yesterday. I need to go get them today.
Yeah.
Hey, pretty pumpkin. And that's why our feed pans keep falling down. They put like all of their weight on them so they can just scratch or whatever. These babies are so sweet.
Look at all her feet in the feed pan, though.
Yeah, see your feet. You're so bad. Get your feet out. Sage. Just having like a weird cough.
She smells Cecily's breath.
Cecily's over there tormenting her. Cecily, are you turning into a buck? I hate when they do this. It's like the Fleeman response. Why are you doing this? What are you doing? Cecily is a nut. Normally you see bucks do this a lot. When the does do it, I think it's really funny. Sometimes the babies will do it, and that's the absolute funniest. Look how fluffy Cookie is. Yeah, Revy's fluffy too. When does Revy do? I think it was February. Hey, sweet pumpkin. It's pumpkin pie. You're not getting out, ma'am. So look, Cecily's hair's all bristled up on her back. Cecily came from South Alabama, so I don't know if she really enjoys the winters here. She's been here for 1 year. In February, it'll be a year. A lot of the other goats were born here, so they're really used to this. Or they came from northern Indiana, so it was even colder where they were. Hi, Minnie. I really love when they get these blazes down their face. Cookie's got a blaze. Licorice has somewhat of a blaze. Minnie has a really big blaze. Hi, Minnie. This is Minnie. This is her daughter, Licorice. My son also named her. He wants to name like all of the goats' food names. Licorice is very annoying. Can you not? She's due to have her first kids, I think in February. You guys look so much alike. Yes, you really do. You have the same face. You just have more white. I really love Minnie's markings. I have a lot of black and white goats. It's like having a herd of Holsteins there for a while. Cheerio, were you the one who chewed that cord in half? So I'm going to move this up to the loft. I really love having the webcam on them. Like if I'm inside at night, I can just turn it on and see what they're doing. But like the cords, they chew through them, and it's so fast too, like seconds. Goats, the front teeth are not like, they don't look like a lot because they actually have a hard palate at the top, so they have no top front teeth. Their bottom front teeth are kind of long, but then when you go back to the back, the front, the top and the bottom are just, it's like a set of shark teeth or something. So don't ever put your finger in a goat's mouth, even a baby. Like, I've had my fingers sliced so quickly. And I even knew better, but a lot of times babies like to nibble. Hi, Cinnamon. These two ladies usually are not the ones to come up for pets. So they're pretty friendly this morning. Pancake loves to be petted. Pancake is my son's showmanship goat. She's so well behaved. When she goes into the ring, she'll do whatever you ask. She stands there. She's easy to milk. She's easy to shave. She's got the most easygoing personality, I think, of all the goats here. Pumpkin. You've got the scraggliest beard. All of the does are starting to get beards. Uh-oh. What happened out there? What are you chasing them?
No, I'm running.
Yes. If you're outside or you're in here and you start running, they'll usually go with you when they think that you're running from something. Look at poor Easy. She was the last one. They're all being a little crazy. I think it's the cold weather. No, Licorice, please don't do that. Is she jumping on time? Hi, Penny. Penny's got a big moon spot on her nose. She's such a pretty girl. She has all of her hair standing up. Are you becoming a buck today, Chia? You see how all of her dorsal hair is standing straight up? She's in buck mode. Last year she had triplet bucks. I was not very happy about that. Yeah, no one wants to be around her because she keeps blubbering at them. You guys don't want to be blubbered at by Chia. Waylon's kids have the smallest ears. Look how small her ears are compared to like Goose's kids. Yeah, look how big Beauty's ears look huge right now.
Yeah.
Nigerian dwarfs can only have this style ear. So if they were to have like pendulous ears or floppy ears like a Nubian or a boar, they would be disqualified. Actually, I don't even think you could register them. When you select the breed at ADGA, you have to select erect ears, I believe. I mean, I've never tried, but that would definitely be a red flag. And a lot of the goat groups, I see people like asking what kind of goat they have. And then you see random people telling them like, oh, it's a dwarf goat, it's a pygmy goat, and it's got, floppy ears. Or they'll say, it's a boar goat and it's got blue eyes. It's like the Wild West. If a goat has blue eyes, there's almost 100% chance that that goat has Nigerian dwarf in it. And Nigerian dwarf goats are a different breed than pygmy goats. Pygmy goats are considered a meat breed. Nigerian dwarfs are a dairy breed. You can eat them, and they actually do fill out pretty nicely if you have the right genetics. But you're just not getting a lot of meat compared to like a big standard goat, or especially a meat goat, which has a really impressive amount of meat. Some of the dual purpose goats are Nubians. They originally were a dual purpose goat. So you'll see some nice Nubian market wethers. La Manchas also make pretty decent market wethers. I've seen some really nice ones. When you get to like Saanens, Alpines, they're usually too kind of dairy and bony to make a decent market wether. But if you mix them with one of the heavier breeds, at that point you could get a decent wether. We're not currently milking any of these ladies yet, but I do miss having fresh goat milk. So in the next few weeks, we will begin sharing the milk with the kids. I try to get my kids on green as fast as possible. It really helps the rumen to develop. So they'll have grain and milk. And all of my does are really bred to be pretty decent milkers, some better than others. So they, you know, if you're milking them, they'll produce pretty much as they can, as long as they're having enough intake. So been really happy with them. Eclipse, what are you doing? Eclipse is a brat. She is not nice. Constantly see her being mean to other goats. And you're getting a beard. I think you were the only junior doe in here with a beard. She was born on the day of the solar eclipse. So actually, like, I got tired of waiting that day. I was expecting this doe to kid. She wasn't having the kids. I was like, you know, let's just go watch the eclipse somewhere. So we went to like a little event the next town over on the day of the solar eclipse. And on the way back, I actually had the camera going. So my mom was tuned in and she's like, there's a goat and it's screaming and it sounds really weird. So I was like, oh, great. It's probably Tiny. I log in and sure enough, she was out here trying to have those kids. If you know the doe code, they'll wait until you're gone, until something crazy is going on, thunderstorm, ice storm, electrics out, before they release the kids. They try to make it as chaotic as possible. Okay. One of the bucks is out there snorting like crazy. What's going on? Is that the senior bucks? Oh, did they run to that side? They do share a little bit of fence, but they had to go all the way around to get to that fence that they share with the senior bucks. So sometimes when one of them is in heat, they'll go over there and then you'll hear the bucks snorting and blubbering and acting like bucks. Okay, ladies, most of the herd has gone outside. I think maybe you guys should go out and get some exercise, get some fresh air. Yeah, she didn't even jump out today. I think she's getting a little big. Like, this is what, maybe a foot? Maybe a little bit more than a foot for her to jump through that. You don't need to jump. This is Willow's baby. The baby that's getting big. Is that Grace? Yeah. She looks so much lighter.
Yeah.
Lulu, her face stayed dark and her whole body got faded. Looks like she got faded from the sun. So we have Easy, we have her daughter, and then we have Easy's granddaughter, but it's not Lulu's daughter. So you can see the resemblance. They're all like the exact same color. So if you're out here and it's kind of dim lighting, it's very, very difficult to tell them apart. Lulu, goodness. That's Lulu's daughter. Pat her back, Willow. I think she's got a cough. What happened? Sometimes when they're chewing up their cud, it's very, very dramatic when they're trying to bring up their cud. She is dramatic. Oh, guys. Do you want me to bring water into your heated bucket? It is kind of cold today, but my son is going to go fishing. So my husband's going to have fun going fishing when it's 25 degrees out. Well, I am going to get off here and haul water. Thanks for joining me this morning as I feed all of my does. Hope you guys have a really great, relaxing weekend. You're able to get ready for Christmas, able to get all of your things done. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 if you want to join me then. Bye, guys.